From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate. Arnab Goswami on The Debate.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Debate, and time now for the nation's sharpest opinion. There are some people who don't want the truth to be told, and the truth will have to be told. The truth, it is unfortunate that there is a female Indian journalist. I don't consider her a journalist because she's done so much work against national interest. She's compromised the identity of people in 26/11. She's compromised the identity of Indian Army people when they have been in combat. This person has been caught in the middle of a massive corruption scam, trying to influence cabinet positions, or at least claiming that in the case of the Neera Radia case. This person has also been given praise by Hafiz Saeed. So the Lashkar-e-Toiba chief has praised this person. There are people like this who call themselves journalists. Imagine if you get praise from Hafiz Saeed, you should just quit the profession. But this person continues. It's a shame, ladies and gentlemen. Now, viewers, there are many people of this type. You see, treachery has many shades. And there are many people who are Mir Jafers, who have begun commenting against national interest. There is one YouTuber who says that the strategic deliberations that the Indian Army, the Indian Air Force, the National Security Advisor, the Indian Navy, the Defense Minister, the Foreign Minister, the Home Minister are all having with the Prime Minister. He's saying on his YouTube channel that these are khokhli charchaएं. This YouTuber is working against national interest, in my view. If you say these are khokhli charchaएं, you are trying to imply that Bharat is incapable of real action. This is exactly what Pakistan wants India to believe and to project. I am asking you, viewers, do we need these anti-national YouTubers, ladies and gentlemen, to be allowed to be given a free run in this country? How much do we tolerate? We have a person who calls herself a journalist in this country who has been praised by Hafiz Saeed. These are the limits of democracy, ladies and gentlemen. Limits of democracy. And these, because we keep stretching the limits, and these people keep stretching the limits, they weaken Indian democracy. They put out a narrative which is the narrative of the enemy. And then they go and take selfies with Nawaz Sharif and his daughter. You know who I'm talking about. These are people who are working against national interest. Ladies and gentlemen, there is another person, another anti-national who calls herself a journalist, who blames the Prime Minister for not taking a press conference after Pahalgam. And she writes, in any functional democracy, the Prime Minister would have taken a press conference to show transparency. Incredible, ladies and gentlemen. They expect the Prime Minister to be communicating India's strategic decisions second by second. These people want to put a trap for the Indian Prime Minister. They have no loyalty for the country. I would say at this point of time, the government of India should conceal its strategy. These are people who are Pakistan's agents. They want India to reveal its strategy. These same people have no outrage for Pakistan. They have no condemnation of Pakistani terrorism. There is no demand for action. There is only continuous attacks at the elected leadership of India, which is again Pakistan's line. And I am asking you tonight, do we allow these anti-national people who are working against national interests to get away? There is another person, ladies and gentlemen. I think she works for the Wire, the same Wire which is taking a Pakistani line. I just feel, in the context of the Wire, not specifically but generally, don't you believe that all so-called senior editors or editors of news organizations, even small websites like the Wire, don't you believe all senior editors should be Indian nationals? And I'm asking the Wire to make a disclosure of the nationality of their editors. I hope they have nothing to hide. In any case, this person says that, she says, a terror attack in Kashmir and suddenly Kashmiris across the mainland are being attacked and harassed. This is the reality of India's so-called integration and a total failure to distinguish between civilians and militants. First, I want to deconstruct this person's language. What are militants, bhai? Why can't you call them terrorists? Are you getting paid by the Pakistanis or India's enemies not to call them terrorists? Why can't you use the language that you need to use? Why do you all people want to use Al Jazeera language, BBC language? What do you mean by so-called integration? When you say so-called integration, what do you mean? Are you trying to put out a line like Jammu and Kashmir is not a part of India? How can you take that line against national interests, speak against India's sovereignty, and expect to get away with it? You see, viewers, I am putting a simple question to you. Here we are as a nation. It is time for us to decide. Can we allow a tukde gang in the Indian media to proliferate in the Indian media and take the cover of the Indian media to do their dirty job? How long, ladies and gentlemen, do we tolerate a situation where there are members of the Indian media who have been praised by Hafiz Saeed, who still continue to go around and do what they call to be journalism? These are same people who had no sympathy for what the Kashmiri Pandits went through. They tried to put so-called justifications for the genocide of Kashmiri Pandits. We've tolerated for the longest time. And we've done so because these people take a cover of freedom of expression. Look at their argument, ladies and gentlemen. Look at their argument. If Republic Media Network questions the targeting of Hindus in Murshidabad, they say we are misusing freedom of expression. But they want to take a line promoting Pakistani line, enemy line in our country, and they say it's an exercise of their freedom of expression. How can there be dual standards on matters like this? At a moment like this? How can you try and shift the goalpost at a time when the nation is under attack? So it's a moment for us to choose. We have to decide, ladies and gentlemen, we have to decide. I don't believe in things like a complete boycott, but I do believe in calling out the people in our own country who are working against Bharat's interest. It's time to choose. Let's debate.
While India prepares its kinetic response, the entire nation stands united behind Prime Minister Modi's leadership.
అమరావతికి రమ్మని పిలవడానికి వెళితే చాలా గంభీరంగా సాగింది. దీనికి కారణం, ఏకైక కారణం, ఉగ్రవాదుల దాడిలో నా దేశ ప్రజలు ప్రాణాలు కోల్పోయారనే ఆవేదన మోడీ గారిలో నేను చూశానని చెప్పి మరొకసారి విజ్ఞప్తి చేస్తున్నాను. అందుకే ఈ సందర్భంగా మీ అందరి తరపున వారికి విజ్ఞప్తి చేస్తున్నాను. ఉగ్రవాదాన్ని అణిచివేయడానికి ప్రధాని మోడీ గారికి కేంద్ర ప్రభుత్వం తీసుకునే ప్రతి చర్యకు మేము అండగా ఉంటామని ప్రతిజ్ఞ చేస్తున్నాం.
For the Honorable PM Modi ji, he is leading the country through these tough times, and he assured all the citizens with stern action against the perpetrators of terrorism. I know this is very sensitive time, and Modi ji is carrying the nation's burden. Amidst this tremendous difficult moment, Modi ji still gave time and came today to Amravati. This shows his deep commitment to Andhra Pradesh, to the people of Andhra Pradesh, and we are deeply grateful to you, sir.
With each passing day, India is boosting to its arsenal. From new Rafale Marines deal to new next-gen ports to new DRDO testing ranges.
आज देश को, हमारे डिफेंस सेक्टर को मजबूत करने वाला नया संस्थान भी मिला है। कुछ देर पहले हमने डीआरडीओ की नई मिसाइल टेस्टिंग रेंज की आधारशिला रखी है। नागरा लंका में बनने जा रही नवदुर्गा टेस्टिंग रेंज मां दुर्गा की तरह देश की डिफेंस पावर को शक्ति देगी।
But some in India are trying desperately to downplay India's strategic response by questioning the calm before the storm.
When Congress government was there, all these were not shown ever. CCS meetings and cabinet meetings, etc. And all operations were done very quietly, silently. And when India attacked on Pakistan in 1971, nobody knew. Only Prime Minister and Defense Minister knew. It wasn't in public. Not only at that time, even at the time attack on Lahore also, nobody knew it. So what is the government going to do? Is the government to decide?
Some YouTubers are now shooting off behind the United States by attempting to paint a picture that India is under some alleged pressure from the US. This is the same gang that questioned India's surgical strikes and airstrikes.
पुलवामा की घटना हुई, 40 से ज्यादा हमारे सीआरपीएफ के लोग मारे गए। उस घटना की जानकारी ना संसद में उन्होंने पेश की, ना जनता के सामने रखी। सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक की बात करते हैं कि हमने इतने लोग मार गिराए, लेकिन प्रमाण कुछ नहीं।
Now the same pro-Pakistan Aman Ki Asha lobby is trying to test India's resolve from the shoulders of United States. Here is a fact check with compliments from Washington.
Well, there have been tensions on that border for 1,500 years. So, same as it's been. But they'll get it figured out one way or the other, I'm sure.
The United States has picked its side, and so has the rest of the world. No one stands between India's right of hot pursuit and its right to defend itself. Yet over the years, we have seen how some are obsessed with taking a pro-Pakistan line.
उन्होंने कह दिया ना कि अगर हमारा पानी बंद करेंगे तो फिर जंग के लिए तैयार हो जाएं। ये जो गोरी, शहीन, गजनवी, ये चौकों में सजाने के लिए नहीं हमने रखे हुए, ये हमने हिंदुस्तान के लिए रखे हैं। बाबा, ये जो 130 एटॉमिक हमारे पास वेपन है, वो हमने सिर्फ मॉडल बनाने के लिए नहीं रखे हुए।
क्या वो चूड़ियां पहने हुए बैठे हैं? उनके पास भी एटम बम है। क्या उसे हमें मरवाना है क्या? तुम लोग तो पैलेसेस में बैठे हुए हो।
Our forefathers, they thought that we are different from the Hindus in every possible aspect of life. Our religion is different. Our customs are different. Our traditions are different. Our thoughts are different. Our ambitions are different. That was the foundation of the two-nation theory that was laid there.
You know, in our country, we see that this government will try and show that, talk about Hindutva, and, the minorities feel uncomfortable and, they feel troubled. If you dissect this terrorist act that took place, if they're looking at people's identity, why are they looking at people's identity? Because there's a divide that has come about in our country with Hindus and Muslims.
Is the Saboot Gang jumping the gun in its criticism? Is the Saboot Gang misinterpreting the calm before the storm?
Tariq Ahmad Lari of the SP, Abid Mir Magami of the Congress, Waris Pathan of the All India Majlis-e-Ittihadul Muslimin, Deepak Reddy of the Telugu Desam Party, Ratan Sharda is an RSS-leaning ideologue, and YG Madhuvanti is a nationalist, right-leaning voice. Now, Abid, Mir, Magami, I want to start with you. Normally, I'll tell you, I'm a very accommodative kind of person. We tolerate all this rubbish. We don't say anything. We object, we do programs on it. I say that I don't like anti-nationals. Question the Tukre gang. You know my position. And all of you know my position. It's not changed. The problem I'm having, Abid, is that is samay. You know, the problem I'm having is the timing. With all these anti-national, tukre traitors, you know, I can't tolerate when at a time like this we are preparing to strike Pakistan, we need to come together. These rubbish YouTubers, for example, and some rubbish politicians, Congress party, they are taking an anti-national position. They are doing their treachery at a time at a national crisis like this when our people have been killed. And we know that there is one journalist in our country who's been praised by Hafiz Saeed. I've tolerated it. I said, okay, fine. In India, we say we are so tolerant. Even a journalist praised by Hafiz Saeed should be, it's okay, they should do what they are doing. Fine, no problem. But now there are some traitors in our country who are openly calling for softness towards Pakistan. They are trying to paint both countries as responsible. They are trying to push for de-escalation so that India does not retaliate. They are talking about how America has put pressure on Modi, and that's why, you know, we will not respond. They're trying to create a narrative like that. I think these people are anti-national. I think Robert Vadra, your leader, is an anti-national. I think it was anti-national for him to blame Hindutva for the Pahalgam attack when he knows that Hindus have been, their trousers have been pulled down to check whether they've been circumcised, and they've been asked to read the Kalma, and then you're blaming Hindutva. You are not blaming the Islamist ideology, jihadi ideology, or Pakistan. So, you know what's happening, Abid, is, to cut the long story short, I'm asking people of this country, this Saboot Gang ka kya kare? At least at a time like this, at least now, Abid, we should show some sobriety. We should not do this now. We should not keep targeting the army, the Prime Minister. We should not take a position like people have taken in the past. Abid, why are these traitors behaving like this now?
हम अगर सॉफ्ट होते तो बांग्लादेश नहीं बनता. हम अगर सॉफ्ट होते तो 90,000 से ज्यादा फौज घुटने नहीं टेकती. सॉफ्ट और हार्ड में आपको फर्क पता चली होगी. 10 दिन हो गए मोदी जी को केरला में सभा में जाके पाकिस्तान की नींद उड़ानी चाहिए थी, न कि अपोजिशन पार्टी की. 10 दिन बीत गए, जनता जवाब मांग रही है. अगर 370 आतंकवाद की जड़ थी तो 370 खत्म होने के बाद आतंकवाद कहां से आया? अगर 19 के बाद सारे बॉर्डरों को सील किया गया था तो कौन सा कोना सरकार ने छोड़ रखा था? तो ये आतंकवाद आए, इतनी दूरी इन्होंने तय की.
एक मिनट को बोलने दे रतन शारदा, लेट हिम फिनिश, आई विल कम टू यू आफ्टर.
खून की होली खेली और वापस चले गए. 23 अप्रैल को पूरा कश्मीर बंद रहा उन शहीदों की याद में. दिल्ली बंद रही, महाराष्ट्र बंद रहा, यूपी बंद रही. आपने अपनी टीवी चैनल बंद की उन शहीदों की याद में. बहुत हुई टीआरपी, बहुत लूटी आपने टीआरपी इन लाशों पे. सरकार को बैकअप न करो, सरकार से जवाब मांगो. ये एक्शन का टाइम है, आपका नाटकबाजी का टाइम नहीं है.
मैं जरा नाटक बताऊं.
एक मिनट. I'll just say one thing. After that, Ratan Sharda, you respond. Ratan Sharda, you respond. We'll speak one after the other. मैं आपको तो यही कहना चाहूँगा, आबिद मीर मकामी, कि अगर साल के 364 दिन भारत के खिलाफ बात करते हो तो एक दिन तो भारत के साथ खड़े हो. इतनी बेशर्मी मत दिखाओ, इतनी बेशर्मी मत दिखाओ. एटलीस्ट एट दिस टाइम स्टैंड विद इंडिया. At least this time stand with the Indian Army. Stand with the Indian Army. कहो, say I stand with the Indian Army. Say I stand with the Indian Army.
झूठ बोल रहा हूं.
Say I stand with the Indian Army.
झूठ बोल रहे आप.
Say, मैं झूठ नहीं, मैं पूछ रहा हूं. Say मैं भारत की फौज के साथ खड़ा हूं. Say I support the Indian army.
TRP के लिए stand हो.
Say I support the Indian army.
आप सिर्फ TRP के लिए stand
आप
हो.
बोलिए ना I support the Indian army. Viewers, see, I'm asking him. He's not going to be able to say it.
Definitely.
Say I support the Indian army.
We support.
I support the Indian army. Bolo.
Every Kashmiri.
I support the Indian army. Bolo.
Not only me, but whole.
Say I support the Indian army. I will always support the Indian army. Say it.
Not.
Say it. I will always support the Indian army.
Whole Kashmir with Indian army. Whole Kashmir.
Now say I'm an Indian first.
Whole Kashmir.
I'm an Indian first.
Who are you?
Say I'm an Indian first.
Who are you?
I'll say I'm an Indian first and then a Hindu.
Who are you?
You say I'm an Indian first and then a Muslim.
Who are you? Who are you?
My name is Arnab Goswami, sir. You don't know me.
Who are you?
My name is Arnab Goswami.
आप सर्टिफिकेट मारते हो?
मैंने बोल दिया ना, मैं अर्नब गोस्वामी, मेरा नाम अर्नब गोस्वामी है.
सर्टिफिकेट मारते
सब लोग मुझे जानते हैं. मैं सर्टिफिकेट नहीं, सवाल पूछने वाला आदमी हूँ.
सब लोग आपको जानते हैं सिर्फ टीआरपी के लिए.
चलिए.
बाकी कोई काम नहीं आप.
तो मुझे बताओ कि you see viewers, even देखिए, पहले first of all don't get excited. I think it is disgusting that you are using a tragedy to question the abrogation of Article 370. आपको और आपके नेताओं को शर्म आनी चाहिए.
क्यों नहीं करेंगे?
आप लोगों के लाशों पर 370 के रिमूवल पर सवाल उठा रहे हैं. इससे गिरी हुई पॉलिटिकल साजिश नहीं हो सकती है.
आप लाशों पे टीआरपी हासिल कर
आपके नेता कहते हैं पहलगाम हुई हिंदुत्व के कारण.
नहीं, हम सरकार से
आपके नेता रॉबर्ट वाड्रा और गांधी परिवार ने कहा कि पहलगाम की अटैक हुई हिंदुत्व के कारण. और अभी आप बोल रहे हैं बहुत समय हो गया. पिछली बार भी आप सबूत मांग रहे थे ना, आप ही थे ना. You are the person who asked for Saboot last time. Don't deny it, Abid.
You are the biggest.
Don't deny it, Abid.
You are the biggest. No, I am not denying. I am not denying. झूठ पे झूठ.
Yeah, you can't deny anything.
झूठ सिर्फ झूठ.
You want to defame the Prime Minister in the face of a national crisis.
These arguments are over. Can I come in?
Ratan Sharda, see, you please come in. All I will say, it will speak one after the other. I take serious objection to some people calling for a change of India's position on Pakistan and trying to give an impression that we will not strike them. The nation is united against these Mir Jafers who are on our soil. And it's time for everyone to choose which side they are on. Ratan Sharda, this is the Saboot Gang that you're seeing here tonight, and they are questioning India's capacity to attack. I hope after we attack Pakistan, we call these people on television and we make them talk like this. जब अटैक होगी ना आबिद मीर मकामी, जब अटैक होगी, स्ट्राइक होगा, तो आप टीवी पे नहीं आओगे उस दिन. एक हफ्ते के लिए छुट्टी लेंगे आप. अरे आप आओगे. जब अटैक होगी तब आप रवीश कुमार को बुलाइए टीवी पर.
मैं आपको प्रॉमिस.
ये जो रवीश कुमार कह रहे हैं ना, अरे मैं कह रहा हूं, आई एम सेइंग यू कॉल पीपल लाइक दैट.
आप कश्मीर,
आपके सारा राना अयूब, रवीश कुमार, अरफा खानों में सारे लोगों को पूछिए. आप क्वेश्चन कर रहे हैं इंडिया's ability to attack. India will attack. We'll take our own time. हम अटैक करेंगे जब हमारा मन करेगा.
The person who calls you the TRP man, why is he coming?
Ratan Sharda is on the debate.
Why does he come on the debate? अगर आपको ये TRP की चैनल लगती है, मत आइए ना. मत TRP बढ़ाइए. आपको अपनी शक्ल दिखानी है ना लोगों को, क्योंकि और किसी टीवी पे शक्ल आपकी दिखती नहीं है. अब आते हैं बात आपकी 1971 की, my dear friend. आपके समय चुप रहा था मैं. अर्नब, आपके पे shut up. I didn't interfere in his speaking. I did not interfere when he's speaking. He will not allow me to speak. That is their problem. These are secular goons. These are people who won't allow sane voices to come on the TV. They will not allow them to speak. They will keep on shouting. He talked of 1971. The hard lady, I respected her. I saluted her. 93,000 POs were prisoners of war were released, but 54 prisoners of war of 1971 were never called back, were not demanded. That is a shame on you. You talk of toughness. 2611, your government refused to act. You are talking of 9 days for this government. This government will take a decision as per its own strategy. It will not look at you whether 9 days or 19 days. You know 1971 war took place after 9 months. Nobody questioned Indira Gandhi. Nobody questioned the government of the day in 1947, 1962, 1971, 1998. Every party stood with the government unquestioningly. Nobody made any question about why the war is not being done, why something is not happening. Despite 50 repeats of the war left behind in Pakistan by Indira Ji, we kept quiet. We're trying to open my mouth now. These people, the bleeding hearts, they have no shame when they ridicule the preparedness of the Air Force and the aircraft. The leader of SP says, "अरे क्या लाइट लगा दो तो जहाज लैंड हो जाएंगे, क्या नई बात है?" So when the Air Force is not doing some tamasha for the government, it is doing this preparedness for its own self, for the nation. And there are leaders of opposition who are joking about it. Arnab, there is a man called Shalya in Mahabharata whose only job was to demoralize Karna, so he drops his arms and stop fighting.
No.
These are the Shalyas of modern Mahabharata. These people don't want any kind of strong force. They will keep on demoralizing to help Pakistan. These people bleed, their heart bleeds for illegal Pakistanis. Their heart never bled for Hindu Kashmir, living Kashmir. Their heart never bled. Every day, 3 Hindu, Sikh or Christian girls are picked up in Pakistan as minors, converted, married off. Have they ever visited the refugees of Pakistan living in Rajasthan, Gujarat, Delhi? No, they will not. Because their heart doesn't bleed for Hindus. Their heart doesn't bleed for the people who have been thrown out of Pakistan.
What is most condemnable? What is most condemnable, Ratan Sharda, at a time like this is they are trying to give a spin to what other countries are saying about the situation. Now, I also know enough about international relations to be able to read the words of J.D. Vance. And J.D. Vance's words today are that our hope is that India responds to this terrorist attack. And he also said that it is the duty of Pakistan to cooperate with India to make sure the terrorists operating in their territory are hunted down and dealt with. Now, therefore, what America wants is for India to retaliate. However, there are some YouTubers in our country who are saying that America is putting pressure on India to go soft. They have no proof of this. But they are putting out this narrative, Deepak, that America has told India to go soft, India has come under pressure, and they're sort of, this little taunting, challenging, India can't do anything, क्या ये मुमकिन है कि पाकिस्तान के साथ मिलकर सीमा पर तनाव कम करें? They've already made the assumption, Deepak, that we are not going to act against Pakistan, and that's terrible here. That is an attempt, in my view, to create internal dissent. The Indian public has faith in its leadership to try and use this situation for some lowbrow YouTubers to try and use this situation to question India's defense preparedness, to question the Prime Minister's leadership, and to make this into a political event is the worst thing that you can do at a time like this. This is a very serious situation we are dealing with, and of course we will deal with it in a very well thought out way. I do not need these YouTube taunts right now to try and distract our defense forces. Deepak, this is serious. This is not an innocent attempt in my view. How do you view this?
Arnab, by the time I'm done today, the traitors will stand exposed. Before I start off, I would like to say, as a country, no matter how strong, how hard we try and build a real strong fort, and a traitor from within opens the door, then we as a nation will fall. So amazing. Today, the point is we have to first focus on the traitors who are within our borders. Pakistan is not much of a worry, and we can take care of them. If you look at the traitor brigade of the India ecosystem, they're not just soft, they are clearly pro-Pakistan. I'm shocked to hear some of the comments and some of the statements which makes it look absolutely spineless. Some of the Congress leaders, the statements, if you see, how can we stop water to Pakistan? We should trust Pakistan's statement. War should be avoided.
Yeah.
Talk to Pakistan.
Yeah.
These are the kind of statements which are coming out. Can you believe this? And what is shocking, I have 4 straight questions. The first question is, why Congress leaders' videos are liked and so popular in Pakistan today?
Well said.
Why Pakistan politicians are giving thumbs up to the videos of Congress leaders? Why there is a synergy between the statements of Rahul Gandhi and Pakistan on Article 370, the surgical strikes and Balakot? Isn't this betrayal? Isn't this treachery? Isn't this an attempt to weaken our nation? These are my opening comments, and I would like to get a few facts, and I challenge anybody from the India ecosystem whether they can give a rebuttal to what I'm going to raise now. 1947, when POK was taken, we had 3 times the army. Why did you give the area without contesting? 1966, why was the captured territory handed over to Pakistan without any concessions? 2013, when our soldiers were beheaded, why was no action taken? In 1971, when we had absolute victory on the battlefield, why were 93,000 soldiers given back and 13,000 square kilometers given back without taking 54 prisoners of war, missing in action soldiers, and without raising the POK issue, without taking any clarification on chicken neck, or without even trying to take an access from the Chittagong to the sea? In 2004 and 14, 25 major terrorist attacks took place. Why no action was taken? In 2010, the army chief then said 97% of our ammunition is not usable. Why did you get a situation like that? Why didn't you buy a single plane in 10 years? Why didn't our modernization of armed forces take place? And last, you never condemn any statements other than candle and other than giving a statement saying that we condemn Pakistan.
Yeah.
What the hell have you guys done?
This is a very serious situation. And before I get Waris in, before I get Tariq Lari and others in, I want to say one thing to people watching this. Ladies and gentlemen, I am doing this broadcast from the campus of India's largest news network. As of this minute, we have deployed about 50 journalists, video journalists, across the international border, across the line of control, and in Kashmir. I am proud to say that I have reporters active as of today along the Durand line. You've seen our live reports from across the Durand line and on the way in Afghanistan. I bring you live reports from Baluchistan and Islamabad. This is how a news network operates. And people of India must know that there are some YouTubers who sit in their drawing rooms, right? It is very easy to sit in your drawing room, make extreme comments, and then try and see how much money you are earning on YouTube. These people are irresponsible. They work against national interest. They have no independent sources of information. They don't have any reporters. Some of these YouTubers earn a lot of US dollars. American dollars are going to these YouTubers. But they do not reinvest it in reporting. They sit in their drawing rooms and they make videos against the country. And they're earning a lot of money. These people are anti-nationals. If they had any interest, they would have put back some of that money into genuinely reporting. But no, they want their bank balance to go up. And they've got huge assets and a lot of money. These people are a blot in the name of journalism. They are not journalists. These are drawing room YouTubers. Having said that, I now want to invite Waris Pathan.
9:35.
Waris, don't get restless. You have all the time in the world for you tonight. See, Waris, when Mehbooba Mufti is saying, be compassionate towards Pakistani citizens, she should say, please take revenge for all the Hindus who have been killed by the Islamist jihadi terrorists. You know, this line, see, I am a very patient man, but I want to ask you, how come the views of these people align with that of the Pakistani establishment?
Well, Arnab, I would like you to extend to me the same courtesy, uninterrupted 2 minutes which you gave to the TDP spokesperson. If you have got time, I will make my point, otherwise I will sit quiet.
I have time. I began by saying I have time. I have time.
Okay, so now I'll begin my point. The first point I would like to make is during the all-party meeting which was held in Delhi by Modi, the entire opposition leaders, including our party president, unanimously said that we stand with BJP and Modi in whatever action they take against Pakistan. We are with Modi in the time of crisis. 140 crore people of our nation are with the BJP to clean the terrorism and to finish the terrorism-supported country, Pakistan. Yesterday's Sea Voter survey I was reading, Arnab, which says that...
I don't know anything called Sea Voter. I don't believe in surveys of people done from any part of the world. I don't give them any credibility. Please focus on the news.
Allow me.
ये कोई भी कहीं भी survey कर देता है. आजकल ये habit हो गई है.
Allow me.
I don't know any... don't talk about surveys.
75% people of the nation Don't interrupt me.
What is this?
75% people from the nation
Voter,
say revenge should be taken and more stricter action should be taken, better than Uri and Pulwama. So now what prevents Modi to take action? We want him to attack Pakistan, clean the terrorists, conspirators, enter Pakistan, occupy our place, and this time don't leave that place. It is our place. It is not theirs. It is our place. I stand with the country. We stand with the country. We stand with Modi. In whatever action it takes against Pakistan or the terrorists, we should enter there and take position of that place. That is our.
Yeah, so we will know. I am only saying, listen, for 1 minute. What is
being abused by the BJP?
What is listen.
She said we want justice.
What is
here
listen.
we are fighting amongst ourselves. Blaming them.
There are some of these. This is not a Hindu-Muslim issue.
Asad Owaisi is the only leader who is terribly taking Pakistan to the cleaners. Let me remind you. He called Afridi Joker. Afridi, I would call him a dog of ISIS. I would go a step further, more than my leader. I will go a step further and say,
1 minute. What is
the dog of the ISIS?
It is easy to use this kind of language to get a few Instagram clicks. Listen to me now. Listen to me. It is easy to call someone a dog, call someone a dog, call someone a joker to get away with it. I would be happier. I would be happier. Allow me to complete. I would be much happier if your leader Owaisi would say that given the situation in the country, I will stop trying to tell Muslims to hit the streets and create internal chaos because this kind of words help Pakistan. But your leader will not do that. Now, I think your leader should be responsible.
We protested against the Pahalgam attack. We wore a black band last Friday and offered prayers in support of the people who were martyred in Pahalgam. But what are they doing? Lieutenant Narwal's wife yesterday said that please don't target Muslims.
Say first, it's not a Hindu-Muslim issue.
She said, I want
Stop looking at Hindu-Muslim and everything, for God's sake. I am concerned about the narrative. In fact, I'll tell you one thing. I blame a lot of people who call themselves journalists. I blame the politicians. I blame the politicians, but I also blame a lot of people who are being journalists. And ladies and gentlemen, I am asking you today.
Without head or tail, he was making his points. Allow me to make some sensible points, Arnab.
You've been speaking for 3 minutes, 20 seconds.
Allow me to make my point.
You spoke for 3 minutes, 20 seconds.
What was the intention?
What intention?
Just 10 few seconds.
What intention, yaar?
Finish my argument.
What is your problem with Deepak?
What was the intention of the terrorist dogs? Their intention was to create...
You didn't answer a single point what I raised. I raised more than 20 points.
And what are we trying to do?
Was answered by you.
We are trying to see to
other than trying to communalize the issue, which I never spoke in a communal angle. I spoke in the national angle.
I am not communalizing the issue, Mr. Deepak.
And your mind
I am not communalizing the issue. I am making my point.
On a communal angle. You guys grow up, man. You guys should grow up.
So you are a communal person. I am not in a communal debate. This is my national security. National security of my country. This is my country. I am worried about the national security and I am making my point.
Exactly what I am saying. What I was talking is about the issues what I raised. I raised more than 20 issues which has weakened our country. You talk about
why are you interrupting
20
me?
issues.
Why is he interrupting me?
Regarding the journalists, you're not talking about it.
You are going on.
What is?
Come to the point.
What is?
No, this is not decency.
What is?
This is not decency.
What is?
When you are making your point, I won't allow you to make your point. Arnab, now I will interrupt you again and again.
What is? Why are you getting so violent, man?
Again, please.
Why are you being so violent? Why so much violence,
yaar? I am making my point. Who is here to interrupt me? I will.
He is a TDP spokesperson, like you are a MIM spokesperson.
I go to use my other language.
Can you clarify?
You allow me? Give me ample time. Why don't you give me time? Why you want a TRP for your channel or what?
What do you want? What do you want, Varis?
Why don't you stop him from making point? You lower his feather. First and listen to me what I want to say.
You'll never finish, Varis.
Question of my country's national security.
TDP has 16 MPs, you have 1. They are a big party, you are a non-existent party. There's a difference.
One is enough. One has taken the entire Pakistan to cleaners. Kindly appreciate that.
In a 60-minute debate,
who has made his stand very, very clear since day one.
Yes,
and I'm proud of it.
In a 60 minutes debate, your representation in the parliament is only 6 seconds.
You have taken to
so Arnab is
you
very
are
generous and giving you
are a corrupt party, sir. Your party is corrupt.
Okay, viewers, I'll tell you my problem with this. I'll tell you my problem with these drawing room YouTubers. I'll tell you the way they operate. I'll take just 2 minutes. I'll just take 2 minutes. Viewers. I want to explain something to you.
Spokesperson,
Okay. What is all right? Now I want to talk about the media once again. A lot of people are asking me, Arnab, why do you call them drawing room YouTubers? I'll take 1 minute.
The media is only interested in...
They are not the media. They are not the media. I am the media.
Yes,
Republic is media. Big networks are media because we do ground reporting. I want to... Waris, you have to stop it. Waris, stop it, man. What are you talking like that for? What's wrong with you? What's got your goat today? Are you all right? Sitting in your 100 crore apartment and shouting like this?
I am against your agenda. I will expose you. I will expose you before
you. In your 1,000 lives, you can't expose me, man. You can't stand up to me. Your leader is scared to come on an interview with me. Your Owaisi is scared of me. You know that. Owaisi is scared of me. You know that, Waris. You know Owaisi is scared of me.
Owaisi says I don't give interviews to RSS stooges. Owaisi clearly said he does not give interviews to RSS stooges.
आप दोनों इंडिया के लिए बात कर रहे हो ना?
Okay, I
clearly said
हैदराबाद में
you first become a journalist. Ask a question like a journalist. He will come before the channel and give you an interview.
तुम्हारी नहीं हो रही है.
अब सब आ गए. अब सब भाव आ गए.
Why are you behaving like this? Okay, Ratan Sharda, don't respond to him. I want to make a point, viewers. I just need 30 seconds. वो कैसे कर रहे हो वारिस? अभी हमारे यहाँ तारिक लारी बैठे, मधुवंती जी बैठे, पूरे देश की जनता देख रही है. This program has millions of people who are watching you right now. You want to behave like this? आपको YouTube चैनल पे हो क्या?
Watching me exposing you. तो allow me to make my point.
Wait, no यार. तारिक लारी बोलेंगे, उसके बाद मधुवंती बोलेंगे, मैं वापस आऊंगा. Before I go to Tariq Lari and Madhuvanti, I want to make a very small point. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you something. These people, these drawing room YouTubers, I want to tell you about their formula. They invest no money in reporting. They don't do any reporting. You can buy a camera today for 10,000 rupees, get a mic kit with 5,000 rupees after that, and you need to have a drawing room. With 20,000 rupees investment, you need to sit in front of a camera and abuse Modi, abuse the army, support the Congress, defend Robert Vadra, build an indirect support for Pakistan, and without any investment, any work in any journalism, your video will end up getting 1 lakh hits, 2 lakh hits, and your dollars will start coming into your bank like they go to an ATM. With that, you need to use a few clickbaitish headlines. You need to get some AI-generated graphics. That is all you need to do. And then if anybody questions your dirty business, then you will say, oh, can I not do my journalism? Ladies and gentlemen, the most dangerous thing that is happening in our country today, ये जो ड्राइंग रूम वाले यूट्यूबर्स हैं जो हर वक्त सुबह उठ के प्रो पाकिस्तान एंटी मोदी का नैरेटिव शुरू करते हैं, इनको कितना पैसा मिल रहा है विदाउट डूइंग एनी जर्नलिज्म, इसकी पूरी रिसर्च होनी चाहिए. मैंने आज कहा कि मेरे इस वक्त 50 रिपोर्टर कश्मीर घाटी में है, आईबी में है, एलओसी में है. हमारे इस वक्त 4 से 5 जर्नलिस्ट ड्यूरैन लाइन में हैं. हमारे 30 से 25 रिपोर्टर्स और रिटेनर्स बलूचिस्तान में हैं. और जैसे मैंने अपने चैनल पे कहा, हमारे पास कई डजन रिपोर्टर्स पाकिस्तान से न्यूज़ दे रहे हैं. एंड हमारे पास पूरी एक्सटेंसिव रिसर्च टीम है. दिस इज जर्नलिज्म. प्लीज़ बॉयकॉट दिस ड्राइंग रूम यूट्यूबर ब्रिगेड. इनको एक्सपोज कीजिए. नाउ आई वॉन्ट टू गो बैक टू द डिबेट. तारिक लारी एंड मधुवंती जी, आई वॉन्ट टू से वन थिंग. This is the time for patience, in my view. This is not the time to try and put pressure on the government. हमारे special para forces, special frontier forces, हमारी infantry, artillery, हमारी air force, हमारी navy, हमारे intelligence agencies, हमारे diplomatic agencies, बहुत complicated exercise है. But it's a very important thing we are doing for the country. इस समय is it not necessary to stop this noise and stop attacking the government? क्या मिलने वाला है? तारिक लारी जी देखिए, लॉजिकली सोचिए, इसमें कोई समाजवादी पार्टी पोजीशन, बीजेपी पोजीशन, रिपब्लिक पोजीशन की बात नहीं है. मुझे बुरा लग रहा है, ये कोई समय नहीं है ये सब करने का. This is not the time to try and put political pressure on the government. This is my view. I'd like to hear your view and then I'll hear Madhuvanti's.
पहली बात है अर्नब भाई, यू आर अ वेरी रूथलेस पर्सन। आज आपने वारिस भाई और उनको बिल्कुल रूथली रगड़ दिया। उन लोग
वारिस जी आ जाइए टीवी पे।
लोगों को नहीं करना चाहिए था। नहीं वारिस प्लीज, वो नहीं, वारिस भाई हमारे बड़े भाई, ये काम नहीं। वारिस भाई बड़े भाई, आप रहिए बीच में, आपसे बात करनी है। वारिस भाई बड़े,
आपने उनके बारे में बोला तो उनको दिखा दिया।
नहीं मैंने कहा आपने आज रगड़ दिया। थोड़ी सी बात वारिस भाई ने भी गलत की, बात आपने भी गलत की, उनकी भी बात सुननी चाहिए। गलत है कि आपने उनकी बात नहीं सुनी।
मैं किसी को रगड़ना नहीं चाहता, मैं सिर्फ बात करता हूँ।
अरे सर,
मुझे क्या मिलेगा वारिस पठान को रगड़ के?
अरे सर, आपने जो पहले को बुलाया, जो पहले बोल रहे थे,
रगड़ गए। अर्नब, जब पूरा हिंदुस्तान ने पाकिस्तान को बॉयकॉट कर दिया, तभी आप पाकिस्तानी उन लोग को बुलाते हो अपने स्टूडियो के अंदर, पाकिस्तानी स्पीकर्स को बुला के रखते हो आप।
मैं उनको भी रगड़ता हूँ,
आपका
उनको रगड़ता हूँ मैं,
लोग को 5-5
उनको रगड़ता हूँ। ओके, तारीख कंटिन्यू। अच्छा, ओके, तारीख कंटिन्यू।
दूसरी बात, आप किसी को भी ये बात
बराबर, मैं सुनने का कभी आदी नहीं है, मैं बोल के जाता हूँ।
ये बात तो फैक्ट है कि कुकुर मुत्ते की तरह बहुत से गली नुक्कड़ में आदमी माइक और कैमरा और लेकर चालू हो गया, और ये देखिए नाली ये हो गई, ये देखिए ये हो गया, लोगों को ब्लैकमेल भी कर रहे हैं। फैक्ट बात है ये मैं इससे डिनाई नहीं करूंगा। सरकार को इस पर कंट्रोल करना चाहिए। दूसरी तरफ से देखिए तो मीडिया एक तरफा काम कर रहा है, तो अपने सपोर्ट के लिए लोगों को करना पड़ेगा। तो आप किसी भी जर्नलिस्ट को या किसी को भी आप ये नहीं कर सकते आई डोंट कंसिडर हिम अ जर्नलिस्ट। हो सकता है वो आपको
नहीं, वो बात नहीं है। देखिए, विदाउट एनी रिपोर्टिंग यू कैन, अगर आपके पास कोई रिपोर्टिंग नहीं है, आपके पास कोई इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं है, आप सिर्फ उठकर एक लाइन लेना चाहते हैं, पॉलिटिकल लाइन, वो जर्नलिज्म नहीं है।
आपने सर अभी आपने कहा 50 पाकिस्तान में मौजूद हैं, तो वो भी तो यूट्यूबर हैं जो आपको
नहीं है। हमारे पास रिपोर्टर्स हैं, रिटेनर्स हैं, हम यूट्यूबर्स के साथ काम नहीं करते।
देश के गद्दार हैं फिर।
नहीं, वो किसके गद्दार हैं? वो हमारे लिए काम कर रहे हैं। मेरे पास कॉन्क्रीट इंफॉर्मेशन आती है।
गद्दारी हो गई ना, पाकिस्तान के लिए तो गद्दारी हो गई।
वो मुझे मतलब नहीं है, मैं रिपोर्टिंग करवा रहा हूं। मैं अफगानिस्तान में है मेरे रिपोर्टर, ड्यूरैन लाइन में है, सब जगह है। मैं बड़ा नेटवर्क है रिपब्लिक, विल डू व्हाट आई विल डू। आई एम सेइंग व्हाई बिल्ड पॉलिटिकल, ये पॉलिटिक्स का समय नहीं है। तारिक जी, मूल मुद्दा क्या है? ये पॉलिटिक्स का समय नहीं है।
अब मैं आगे आ रहा हूं
जी, आइए,
मैं आगे आ रहा हूं।
आइए।
ये मेरी पार्टी, ये मेरे मजहब का मामला नहीं है
जी,
ये सीधे वो मेरे देश का है
जी।
ये आप बार इनको आतंकवादी कहते हैं, कोई इनको मिलिटेंट कहता है, मैं इनको आतंकवादी मिलिटेंट नहीं कहता हूं। ये आर्मी थी पाकिस्तान की जो आकर हमला करके चली गई है सर। ये आर्मी थी, दे वर आर्मी पर्सन्स। जिस हिसाब से उन लोगों ने मूवमेंट किया वो आर्मी पर्सन्स करते हैं, जिस हिसाब से उन लोगों ने शॉट लिया वो आर्मी वाले करते हैं। ये फैक्ट बात है। आर्मी आई थी पाकिस्तान की, आर्मी ने आके हमारे 27 नागरिकों को मारा है। ठीक है, टाइम लगेगा। मैं भी आपको बता दे रहा हूं, आज इन लोगों ने शायद वहां कहीं गंगा एक्सप्रेस या किस भी एयर शो किया है। ये एयर शो नॉर्मल एयर शो नहीं था, ये बाकायदा देश को दिखाने के लिए था कि देखो हम तैयारी कर रहे हैं। लेकिन अगर कोई समझे ना तो हम क्या कर सकते हैं भाई, मुझे तो समझ में आ रहा है। सरकार बहुत तैयारी करती है, बहुत तैयारी करती है, साफ लफ्जों में बता रहा हूं, बहुत तैयारी करती है। मुझसे चंद्रशेखर जी प्राइम मिनिस्टर थे, उन्होंने बहुत कुछ बताया। उन्होंने एक बात और कही थी कि भाई तुम भी पॉलिटिक्स करते हो, तुम भी अच्छा बोलते हो, अच्छा सब कुछ करते हो, लेकिन कभी प्राइम मिनिस्टर बनने का नौबत आए तो तुम प्राइम मिनिस्टर न बनना, नहीं तो ये देश बढ़ जाएगा। मैं कहा बिल्कुल, किसी कीमत पर नहीं बनूंगा, बिल्कुल नहीं बनूंगा। ये देश पहले, मैं बाद में।
नहीं, वो आप बहुत घुमा फिरा के बात कर रहे हैं। मैं आप घुमा फिर, देखिए आपको मैं आई एम जस्ट सेइंग वन। तारिक साहब देखिए, पहले आई अप्रिशिएट। एक रतन शारदा जी कुछ कह रहे हैं, आप कुछ कह रहे हैं? बिकॉज मैं मधुवंती जी के पास गया नहीं अभी तक जी।
आपने बहुत अच्छा स्टैंड लिया, मैं आपकी बहुत तारीफ करता हूँ, लेकिन अखिलेश जी ने क्या कहा? उन्होंने ये सब शोभाजी हो रही है, इसका कोई मतलब नहीं है, ये तो कुछ भी नहीं है। लाइट लगा के हाईवे में कोई भी उतार लेता है, हाईवे मैंने बनाया है। ये कौन सी भाषा थी लारी जी? आपकी भाषा में और उनकी भाषा में बहुत फर्क है। अपने नेता को समझाइए।
देखिए तारिक लारी जी, आप देखिए तारिक लारी जी, ओके एवरीवनस ऑन वारिस इज आल्सो
भारत का नागरिक बात की है।
जी मैं कमेंट प्ले करूं जो अभी चरणजीत सिंह चन्नी की कमेंट।
क्वेश्चन करूंगा एक,
किसको क्वेश्चन कर रहे हैं वारिस जी, आप बताइए। मेरे से सवाल कर रहे हैं, मैंने क्या किया? व्हाई आर यू आस्किंग मी? व्हाई?
आपसे 10 सेकंड में। अरे वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन अर्नब, इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन आपसे
ओके आस्क मी।
देश की नेशनल सिक्योरिटी का सवाल है। 10 सेकंड
बोलिए।
10 सेकंड। अर्नब, पूरे देश ने पाकिस्तानी यूट्यूबर को, पाकिस्तानी हीरो हीरोइन को, क्रिकेटर को, सबको बॉयकॉट कर दिया। आप आपके चैनल के ऊपर पाकिस्तानी लोगों को क्यों बुला के?
अच्छा, मैं आपको जवाब दे रहा हूं, एक मिनट। वारिस जी सुनिए। I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing. ना आप चुप रहिए 2 मिनट, मैं जवाब दे रहा हूं। देखिए, ये बहुत ज़रूरी है। और देखिए, मेरे पास जब आप बिल्कुल सुनिए मेरे साथ, जब कोई पाकिस्तानी जनरल आता है और उसको मैं पूरे उसके सामने, उनके लोगों के सामने एक्सपोज कर देता हूँ ना कि तुम्हारी ये फाइटर जेट नहीं चलती है, तुम्हारे पास रेडार्स तुम्हारे नहीं चलते हैं, तुम्हारे चाइनीज नहीं, मैं आई एम देन कंप्लीटली कन्फ्रंटिंग देम। नाउ आई वांट टू गो टू मधुवंती। नाउ one minute, Waris, relax. Madhuvanti is on the debate. Madhuvanti, the big issue is that surprise is a force multiplier. And at this point of time, the biggest thing is, we need to let the government decide how it wants. Predictability is the enemy of strategy. We wait, every day we wait. The Pakistanis are getting tired. I don't know why a group of Indians is trying to put pressure on our government. I've seen this as a strategy. I'm beginning to question it because it's not good for our country. Madhuvanti, your take on this.
Good evening, Arnabji, and good evening to my fellow panelists. I've been very patiently listening for 45 minutes now. And all I can see is the 3 panelists who are here to question the government are just going around in circles. They do not have any valid points to ask. The TDP spokesperson asked 5 to 6 questions for which even one answer was not given. You asked a very simple question as to whether you will say, I stand by the Indian Army. No answer was given. You asked a question about the very same so-called pseudo-secular YouTubers. And Arnabji, please, for heaven's sake, do not call them journalists on your channel.
They are not journalists.
You run one of the biggest channels and you report the hard facts. Whether people like it or not, you report the hard facts, okay? These YouTubers sitting in their drawing rooms, getting paid left, right and center from their, I don't know where their
they
bosses
get a lot of money.
Talk nonsense about this country. These YouTubers first need to be banned. The Pakistani YouTube channels have been banned. Ban the Indian YouTubers who talk against our country at this point in time. Do not allow them to make US dollars as money by talking nonsense about the Prime Minister or about our country at this point in time. And I don't see anybody on the panel answering any of the questions that were asked today by any of us so-called right-wingers, as you call us. I don't understand. Is this a question of Hindu versus Muslim? No, this is a question of national security. And the government will take its time to do things. You cannot ask them, 10 din ho gaye, kya hua? When we attacked Balakot, you said it was too soon. Now the government is taking time to do certain things. You are saying, kitna time lagega? Are yaar.
Aur kya?
Either take one side, stay quiet, shut up, trust the Prime Minister of this country and stand by it at this point in time. 26/11 happened. It took close to 56 hours before the National Guards were sent to Bombay.
Abid Mir.
26/11 happened. Let's not forget.
Abid Mir, you are from the Congress party. जब टुकड़े गैंग को सपोर्ट करने के लिए राहुल गांधी गए थे, people question his intent.
The armed forces of this country is the most anti-national thing to do at this point in time. Please don't do this.
Okay,
ladies and
gentlemen, that's a strong intervention from Madhuvanti. I request the Saboot Gang to change, to learn. I request the drawing room YouTubers to stop trying to make more money, more American dollars by abusing the army, by questioning the Prime Minister at a time like this. At least now the drawing room YouTubers should realize it's not about US dollars, it's about national interest.
The government at this point in time.
I thank you all, ladies and gentlemen. Madhuvanti, strong intervention at the very end by you.
The government.
I thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And we have a special program this weekend where on Republic Defense we are looking at all the military options. The time for that will be put out. This is non-stop breaking news situation for all of us here at Republic. I thank you for your support for tonight. Good night and goodbye.
For a quick breather, Arnab will be right back with the debate.